The junior Kiwis mean business. The referee, Des O'Sullivan from Wellington. It'll be Gene Namu to get the second test underway. The rain has stayed away from Auckland for a couple of hours. Let's hope it stays away for the duration of this match. It's underway. Mom with the first touch of the ball. Gives it to his prop, Peter Driscoll. Good defense from the junior Kiwis. Robbie Ross, the fullback, looking for a bit of early work. The vice-captain, Anthony Fowler, known to his teammates as Chook. Mears from dummy half. Now the clearing kick on the fifth tackle. Justin Paul waiting for it.
Very conservative set of six by the Australians, very typical, close to the play the ball area, runs from dummy half and a good kick early on to improve their field position.
Nafetui Loma in from the wing for New Zealand. Moana, the Waikato representative, 10 metres from halfway. William Po Ching scored 2 tries for New Zealand in the first test at Rotorua. Namu, Fatia Lofa out wide. Umaga put it down, and the Aussies come away with it.
Yeah, the difference in styles with the set of 6, Greg. The Australian team just content to go from dummy half and move it away in their own quarter. The Kiwis prepared to give it a go early on.
Now the blind side, Kennedy plays for the Canberra Raiders in the under-21 grade, the President's Cup. Fowler, he's a triple international. He's also played for Australia in under-17 rugby union and under-17 cricket. Bomb, Sears, the skipper, Casey. Good ball out to Barnes, but oh, that was a big hit from Ruben Wiki. Casey, left-footed kick into the corner. It's going to be too big and a touch in goal. We'll have a restart from the quarter line. Malum with the restart. Tui Loma, midway, halfway at the quarter line. New Zealand entered the ground, 0-0 the score. Lima in from the other wing. Good to see the wingers getting involved early on. Good run. What a good run from the skipper. William Po Ching, no support though. Manahira, Moana, Namu. Good defence from Domic. Manahira. Almost a shepherd there. He got away with it. The last tackle coming up. Promising start by the junior Kiwis. The midfield bomb from Namu. But Mom is back there. He's put it down. Chance now. Junior Kiwis. Out it goes to Tui Loma. 10 metres out. Paul still going the fullback. He's only 1 metre out now. A confident start by the young juniors, but there's a little knock on there. Maybe I'll put the mocker on them, Ken.
Yeah, opportunity gone begging there for the junior Kiwi side. They had great field position and only the third tackle. I think just a little bit of early nerves. They'll settle down later in the match.
Brady Malum, the hooker for the Auckland senior representative team this year. Big heave from the junior Kiwis. Mom has it. Still lying loose on the ground. Manahira couldn't place it. Now, this could be a penalty. Vagana in there, tackling the Australian after the whistle had sounded. Penalty to Australia. So a good opportunity. Goes begging for New Zealand, and Garen Casey will kick for the outer touch. Very classy centre, Casey, from the Parramatta under-21 side in the Winfield Cup. Menzies.
Greg, it'll be very interesting again to watch this Australian side move the ball away from their own line.
10 metres from halfway now. Mark Mom having a dart up the middle, and he runs into Moana. Mears from dummy half. Well, they've gained plenty of metres in this set of 6, and here's the first scoring opportunity for Australia, because the junior Kiwis were inside the 5 metres. And Garen Casey will have a shot at goal. Barry Fu, the prop. Brady Balaam, the hooker. Casey proved in the first test at Rotorua that he's a very handy goal kicker. Barry Fu from the St George Club in Wellington, the under-19 grade. Well, this game is all about doing the basics, Ken, getting them right, and the junior Kiwis were on a bit of a roll inside, deep inside the Australian quarter. They let the opportunity slip away, and against a classy side like this Australian Joey's, you cannot afford to give them opportunities. There's the distance for Casey. A little over 40 metres out to the left of the uprights. Struck it pretty well, but it's waved away. Relief for the junior Kiwis, and Moana brings it out. Peter Lima.
Yes, good yardage game by Lemar, the winger. Good work coming in off his wing to relieve some pressure.
Bailey, 4 of them in there. Now, one of the Australians will be called out. It'll be the vice-captain, number 10, Anthony Fowler.
No shortage of enthusiasm from the Australian defence here. Keep your eye on the front row there with a high shot. Good decision by the referee, Des O'Sullivan.
Po Ching to the railway grandstand side. Fatty Alofa. Fu. 2 hard-working props in this junior Kiwi lineup. Moana, the loose forward. Menahira Namu linking up with Umanga. Midway halfway in the quarter line. Po Ching looking for the gap around the ruck. 1 tackle to go. Namu came off an Australian. Back to 1. They have another set of 6. And they're on the quarter line. Another opportunity for New Zealand. Namu wants to dart down the blind side. They didn't fall for the dummy. Fu. Po Ching. He offloads out to his second row partner, Vagana. 1 metre out. This is a penalty to New Zealand, and he sent number 6 for Australia, Matthew Sears, to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Professional foul, says Des O'Sullivan, so this should be a gift. 2 points for New Zealand. Sears is on his way for a breather for 10 minutes.
Very good decision from the referee, Des O'Sullivan from Wellington, Joseph Vanganga. Number 11 for the junior Kiwis. And that player there, the Australian player, Sears, the 5'8". The referee has already called for Vanganga to get up and play the ball. Too long getting off. Good decision.
With the penalty attempt, Justin Paul. First year in rugby league. He played first 15 in rugby union for the Hato Paoda College in Fielding. Now with the Upper Hutt Club in Wellington. Looks to be a gift, 2 points. New Zealand are on the board after 10 minutes of play. The junior Kiwis 2, the Australians 0. (2-0) the scoreline. The Australians down to 12 men. Sears in the sin bin for 10. Paul, 20 metres out from his own line. So a promising start for the juniors from New Zealand. Remember, in the first test, they were down by 20-0 at one stage in the first half. They mean business tonight. Namu, they spin it wide from their own quarter. This was part of the game plan. Tui Loma, good cover defence though from the second rower, or the loose forward Domic. Vagana, Manahira, they have numbers out wide. Manahira, the halfback, he throws the dummy to the quarter line. He goes. Fu, one tackle to go in the set of 6. Namu, he's going to turn it back inside to Fatialofa. Allowed to offload. They keep it alive. Umanga. Jonathan Umanga. Just couldn't free the ball. Now he does. No, the referee says he was held, so it's the handover.
Great passage of play for the junior Kiwi sides. Tana Umanga going very close to splitting the Australian side in the last tackle and going under the post.
Robbie Ross, the fullback, up over the quarter line. Australian end of the ground. Jamie Kennedy.
Australian side making a lot of easy yards around the play the ball area again, Greg. Got 3 dummy half runs. They've advanced the football 40 metres.
Casey with the clearing kick. Justin Paul is home for New Zealand. Good chasing from Stephen Menzies, number 2. And also Nathan Barnes. Tui Loma now in from the wing. I've been impressed with the 2 New Zealand wingers looking for work early on in this second test. One world of sport at Carlaw Park. Manahira. Namu. It's 3-on-2 out wide. Umanga, quick hands. Ruben Wiki. He's got his winger with him. But, gee, that was good cover defence from the big prop, Anthony Fowler, to bundle him into touch over there. The New Zealanders chancing their arm out wide. But what a great recovery tackle from Anthony Fowler.
Yeah, there's no shortage of skill in this piece of movement here on One World of Sport. Tana Umanga, great ball out to his centre partner. Ruben Wiki shows good leg speed, looks for the winger. Peter Limara on the outside, who's caught by a front rower. That's a magnificent effort from the prop.
New Zealand leading 2 points to 0. The Australians back inside their own quarter, but they've shown already tonight that they have no difficulty getting out of their own territory.
Get out of it!
2 points to 0 to the juniors and a penalty to Australia. Aaron Casey finds touch with that left-footed kick. So there's nothing much in it after 13 minutes of play.
Let's go, Bobby, let's go.
The tap from the Australians.
Get up!
Peter Driscoll, the prop forward, midway between the halfway and the quarter line. New Zealand end of the ground. Mears straight across field, trying to link up, and he finds his fullback. Back it goes to Mears, the hooker. The New Zealanders read that pretty well. Mark Mom, short ball. Kennedy to the quarter line. This is where the Joeys could be very dangerous. Mom. Ross up from fullback. Almost through the gap, but he's thrown it into open spaces. And New Zealand come away with it. Afa Tuilomo playing it.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of intensity in the Australian defence now. They'll try and force the New Zealand side into an error.
Poaching to play it. 20 metres from halfway. Umanga.
Those two players, Greg, Umanga and Poaching, they were outstanding in the first test in Rotorua last week. Started this evening's match very strongly.
And both have been granted an off-season scholarship with the Brisbane Broncos. No doubt they'll be looking forward to training with some of the big names in the Winfield Cup from the Brisbane Broncos. What a great scheme that is.
Yes, it is. And Umanga's been in outstanding form for the Wainuiomata Rugby League Club down in Wellington. And I understand, Greg, also that Poaching's been playing very well for Mount Albert in the Auckland comp.
The Australians are 10 metres from halfway. Domick, he's the man that has really big raps on him in this Australian team, already signed by the Brisbane Broncos, I'm told. Peter Driscoll. Mom. Ross. Good kick from Ross, but the bounce of the ball, I was going to say, didn't favour the Australians, but in the end, a mistake by the New Zealanders. It gave Garen Casey a half a chance, but it's into touch. So we'll go back for the scrum on the quarter line, and it will be an Australian feed into the scrum.
The Australian fullback Robbie Ross from the Knights puts the ball in over the top. Good chase from Garen Casey, just comes forward off Justin Paul. Scrum, Australian feed.
Des O'Sullivan is calling one of the New Zealanders back. Barry Fu it was, who is into the blood bin.
Back it up. Back it up. Shut it up. Shut it up. Hold it right.
Barry Fu with a bloodied nose, receiving some attention as play goes on the quarter line. And it was a win to New Zealand really against the feed, but they were asleep at the back of the scrum, and the Australians were in there, and now they've milked a penalty.
Don't tell me what to do.
They've milked a penalty, and it's a penalty that should be kicked. It should be a two-pointer for Garen Casey.
The Australian loose forward Sid Domick, who's been signed by the Broncos last year, piles on the loose ball. Gene Namu from Manly. You'll see him try and strike for the ball too early before it's placed on the ground. The penalties awarded to Australia. Good decision from the referee again.
So the second opportunity for Casey. Namu having a bit to say there. A lot hinges around the ability of Gene Namu and this junior Kiwi team. So this game has been played at a pretty fast pace tonight. Plenty of concentration on the face of Garen Casey. Trying to even the score. Straight between the uprights. So the Aussies are now on the board. It's locked up at 2-2 at Carlaw Park. The restart from Gene Namu now. 2-all. Fowler, 20 metres out from his own line. James Tabau to play it. John Driscoll, the second rower, loses a boot. The play goes on. Mom linking up to Peter Driscoll. He left it behind. Namu comes away with it for New Zealand. Tane Menahira from Eastern, one of the Christchurch clubs. Togia, number 17, is on there, replacing number 10, Barry Fu, who's receiving some attention in the blood bin. Now, William Poching, straight ahead.
Very strong, very fast, very elusive player, William Poching. He'll prove a handful as the match rolls on.
Vagana. One tackle to go, and the set of 6. Namu is there. There's the grubber kick, but it's been towed ahead deliberately by the Aussies, and another set of 6 now. Ruben Wiki with the big fan. Good strong run from the centre. Malem down the blind side. Fatty Alofa. Malem Menahira. Namu. Long ball out to Justin Paul. Links up with his winger, Tui Loma, but he's left it behind. It'll be an Australian ball. The Kiwis trying to force the passes. Now Ross comes away with it.
Yes, the New Zealand junior side have had far more attacking opportunities than the Australian sides. They've had good field position and possession of the football, but they've just failed late in the tackle count to hold on to those crucial passes.
Plenty of New Zealand defence in there on the loose forward Sid Domick. John Driscoll. Mears. He loses it. New Zealand come away with it. Menahira, the halfback.
The mistakes are starting to come from both sides, Greg, as fatigue starts to become a factor. It's a good opportunity for New Zealand to get in a good set of 6 and try and get some points on the board.
Poching. Good short ball to Moana. Menahira. Namu. Gene Namu throws it down. Oh, big hit though from Anthony Fowler, the Aussie vice-captain. And there was a little knock on in there as well from the centre Umaga.
Very big play from the Australian side. Magnificent effort in defence. You see the ball there, Gene Namu hit very high and very hard by Fowler. The front row, very good hit. Tanarumanga goes to dummy half. Looks to go away with it and makes unforced error there, which allows the Australian side to escape.
It's still locked up. A penalty apiece. Big shove again from the New Zealanders, and there's a little knock on in there. So they've forced the error on the Australians. It'll be a New Zealand feed into the scrum.
Yes, great field position too, Greg, with both forward packs set in the scrum to the left-hand side of the post. Marvellous attacking opportunity for the Kiwis to go on the first tackle.
Namu. Long ball out to Paul, up from fullback again. The fence is across there. Inside to Tui Loma. He had nowhere to go. Casey wraps him up. Ruben Wiki. Poching throws the dummy. William Poching. Back inside it goes to Barry Fu. 1 metre out. Desperate defence from the Joeys. Namu. Numbers out wide. Wiki. Out to Paul. The first try of the match. Justin Paul. Touches down for New Zealand. 6 points to 2.
The Upper Hutt Rugby League Club in Wellington have produced a number of champions over the years, and its young fullback, Justin Paul, looks like he's going to join the long list that have come from the Wellington club. Barry Fe'u playing the ball. Good long pass out to Gene Nama, who picks up Ruben Wiki. He just delays the pass, gives it out to Justin Paul to go over, and the tackle of the winger, Stephen Menzies. Great team effort from the junior Kiwis. Long ball there. Look for the delayed pass from Wiki. Just holds it up, gives it. Great ball to Justin Paul to go in and score. First try for the junior Kiwis.
And it came at the end of a pressure situation. It was the junior Kiwis that really applied the pressure on the Australians, who were down to 12 men to stand off in the sin bin. Justin Paul, he scored all 6 points so far for New Zealand. He's placed the ball on the quarter line, 2 metres in from the outer touch line. But no, it's away to the right. No goal. So after 25 minutes of play, New Zealand leading Australia in the second junior test by 6 points to 2. Well, the students at Hato Paora College in Fielding were pretty pleased with that effort from the former pupil at that college, Justin Paul. Martin Moana from Huntly South in the Waikato.
Greg, one thing very impressive about the junior Kiwi side, not only are they young and representative really of the senior players of tomorrow, but they're also a very big side too, which is an indication that there's good youth and good talent ahead.
There's a very big man there, the second rower, Ghana, and he's awarded a penalty because the Australians ripped the ball out after it was held. Thumbs up. Po Ching's finds touch, almost on the halfway line. Paddy Alofa. Vagana. It's said that the Canberra Raiders have had a talent scout talking to him this week. The junior Kiwis keep it alive. Fu is back on there after spending a bit of time in the blood bin. Centre field, 15 metres inside Australian territory. Moana, a good step from the loose forward. Almost caught them napping. Namu keeps it alive. Umaga throws the dummy to the quarter line. Po Ching now runs into a wall of 3 defenders. Namu. Gene Namu having a go at his own. Namu close to the line. Try. He got it down. A great individual effort there from Gene Namu. New Zealand leading the Australian juniors by 10 points to 2.
I had the privilege to watch this young kid, Gene Namu, make his debut for the Manly side against the Lion Red Invitation side in Hastings earlier this year. And here's a great solo effort from the 5'8", who's tipped to play first grade with the Sea Eagles next year. Throws the dummy inside to the big front row, goes himself. Great step off the left foot to go over in the tackle of the Australian player. Just put the ball down under the post. We see it again from the end on camera. Dummies to the front rower on the inside. Goes himself. Look for the little step off the left foot. There it is there. The Australian player can't hold him. Stretches over with a long reach. Very good individual effort from Gene Namu.
Some happy faces in that junior Kiwi group there. And it's going to be Justin Paul trying to add the extras again. Sensational start by the New Zealanders. Gene Namu, the try scorer. Paul from right in front. He makes no mistake. So after 28 minutes of play of the second test, it's New Zealand leading Australia by 12 points to 2. A 10-point buffer for the junior Kiwis. Something to remember for the remainder of this match is the fact that the Australian juniors have not lost a test match since junior internationals were started about 20 years ago. And the New Zealanders full of running at the moment, up to the quarter line in their own territory. Bagana, he's lost it. Now a chance for the Australians. The referee's going to call one of the New Zealanders out.
The New Zealand junior Kiwi Brady Malem, who plays for the Auckland senior side, dived on the Australian player while he was on the ground after the referee had called the Australian player to player, and the penalty will be awarded to Australia.
Plenty of discussion in the Australian camp at the moment.
See on the One World Sport replay, the ball comes loose. Yaron Casey, Maley dives on the player too late, and the penalty is awarded to Australia.
Casey electing not to go for two. They need a 6-pointer. Casey finds touch, the skipper. Now Peter Driscoll. Good strong run from the prop. They're only 5 metres out. Now the pressure is on the junior Kiwis for a change. Mom. Long ball out to nobody. Nathan Barnes picks it up. He's got electrifying speed back inside to Ross. He pops it up. Don't know how he got that ball away, but Menzies was there. Now it's Mom. Sid Domick. Good defence though from Fu. Mears. There are no runners there for the hooker to link up with. He has to go on his own. He's 8 metres out. Now Mom. Sears is back from the sin bin. Casey. Ross, a good ball and all defence from Umaga. That's the 5th tackle.
The second crucial tackle from Umaga, and that's set a 6.
Casey, there's the bomb. Not a bad one. It's going to land in goal, but Lima is over there and he takes it on the full. So we'll have a restart at the quarter line. So good defence from New Zealand there. They have the advantage on the scoreboard, 12-2. The big prop loves to take it up. His uncle is Peter Fatialofa, the captain of the Western Samoa Rugby Union international side. Tui Loma back inside to Umaga. Well, the pace has been a cracker in the second test, Ken. Be some tired young footballers at the end of 80 minutes. Quick hands out wide. Here's the overlap for Lima, but the cover defence read it pretty well.
Come on, Graham. Tackle was already made.
Wiki.
Get up, get up.
Bad pass. Malem cleans up. On the 5th tackle. Po Ching looking for a touch and finds it. Po Ching asking his players to hold on to that ball. They must keep their minds on the job.
Hold the weight. Hold the ball comes, fellas. Hold it there, hold it there. Get in. Get in. Push. Hold it. Break it. They're offside, they're offside.
An Australian ball. Mark Mom. 30 metres out from his own line. There's Domick from dummy half.
Come on.
Bad pass from the Australians. Picked up beautifully by Gene Namu, one of the try scorers for New Zealand. But there's a knock on in there. Namu and Sears having a bit of a pushing match, and that was a bit of an experience from Gene Namu there. He gave away a vital penalty to the Australians. Say a vital penalty because it's New Zealand inside Australian territory. Have the tap restart, 5 metres inside New Zealand territory. James Sabau. John Driscoll. Mom. Mark Mom, the halfback, but Malin was there to wrap him up, ball and all, on the quarter line. Now it's Fowler, Anthony Fowler, keeping it alive. Sears. This is out one, Ross. Quick hands to Nathan Barnes. Sears. Peter Driscoll. Now it's Mark Mom. There's the bomb. Well, good work from Mom to retrieve the ball, and he's given his side another set of 6. Mears from dummy half. A couple of metres out. The junior Kiwis lead the Joeys by 10, but that is a try. Quick thinking from the hooker, Robert Mears. Well, he caught the New Zealanders napping then.
Yes, it's an old rule, and it's been a while since we've seen it exploited, especially on television. But at the play the ball area, you can play the football either forward or backward, and means he's very, very clever player. Robert Mears, the dummy half for the Australian side, goes himself. Tanarumanga on the tackle, he gets up to play the ball himself. Watch him play it forward to himself and to score the try under the post, under post. Smart play by the hooker, Robert Mears.
So the Joeys have bounced back. Mears from Campbelltown. He's a Western Suburbs junior. And Sydney, his captain, will attempt to add the extra 2 from right in front. Casey taking plenty of time with the conversion attempt. No mistake. 12 points to 8. 4 points in it. The junior Kiwis holding on. So now, Ken, with just a few minutes to go to half-time, it's imperative that the junior Kiwis keep their concentration and try and hold the Aussies out.
Certainly the size of the New Zealand side really has been taking its toll on the Australians, who found it difficult to combat them in defence. But the thing about having size too, Greg, is having the enthusiasm to be able to maintain it over an 80-minute period. The Australian players, by contrast, have played quite conservatively and imagine would finish the game quite strongly. Almost like clockwork, watching the Australian side advance the football from away out of their own territory. They just run from dummy half, take the ball up, look for a quick play the ball, and at the first opportunity, advance it downfield even further with a good kicking game.
Fairly predictable stuff, but as we've seen across the Tasman, it pays dividends. The try scorer, Mears, making good metres again from dummy half. Casey.
Very good set of 6 from the Australian team, kicking on the last. And the New Zealand side now have to advance the ball out of their own quarter. There's a lot of tired junior Kiwis walking back on side.
Justin Paul. Jonathan Umaga, straight across field.
He's played very well, Umaga, one of the senior players in the side, along with William Poching, who were in the side last year. Made strong contribution last week and tonight in the second test.
Wiki plays it. Now it's David Fatialofa, midway. Quarter line at the halfway, still in New Zealand territory on the last tackle. Namu. Robbie Ross picks it up after towing it forward. Half-time approaching. the Australians. This may be their last set of 6 before the break. They're down by 4. Long, Sears. Got away from Matahira and Vagana. Sears, the standoff, puts the head down, makes it to the halfway line. And that is half-time of the second Junior International at Carlaw Park. The Junior Kiwis have scored 2 tries to 1, and they lead at the break by 12 points to 8.
Saturday, which is of course tomorrow, we have senior finals day at Carlaw Park. It's going to be at 10 a.m. And on Sunday, Northcote playing up in the Warren Red Nationals. 2:30 with a good race.
Garen Casey has the ball placed for the restart. Can the New Zealand juniors hold on? Or will they run out of puff? The $6 million question, just 4 points in it as Bagana starts the second half with a strong run up to the quarter line.
Yes, Greg, that's going to be the test whether or not the New Zealand side can maintain the level of enthusiasm they showed in the first half.
Tui Loma, good strong run from the winger.
Yes, he showed good form from dummy half around to play the ball. Tui Loma, very good player. So is this young fella.
Martin Moana from Huntly South. The people in the Waikato can feel proud of his effort. And a penalty to New Zealand. The Australians lying all over the top of Moana. So right on the halfway line.
Yes, strange start for the New Zealand side in the second half. Referee Des O'Sullivan has called Moana to play the ball. The Australian player wouldn't get off in time. Penalty to New Zealand. Great opportunity for them.
30 metres out from the Australian try line. Fadia Lopa up to the quarter line now. Fu.
Very good set of front rowers. Fatia Lofa and Feu.
Matahira stepping, can't find a way through into the sandpit.
Yes, Greg, I think he was expecting a runner on the outside that never came.
Namu, Umaga, he's left it behind. The referee says knock back. 2 tackles to go in the set of 6. Inside Namu. Now it's Po Ching straight up the middle. William Po Ching. Final tackle coming up. Namu, Gene Namu. Vagana. Joseph Vagana. Slips it out to his support. Try to New Zealand. Good ball skills from Vagana. I thought he was wrapped up. So did the Australians, but not so. The Junior Kiwis out to a great start the second half. They're leading by 8 points.
Yes, very good set of 6 from the New Zealand junior side. They had great field position. This is the final tackle. Gene Namu at first receiver opts to give a nice short ball to Vangana coming back in on the angle. Look for Barry Feu backing up on the outside to get a great short pass from Vangana. Very good play from the Junior Kiwi side. Gene Namu again, great ball to Vangana coming back in on the angle. Look for the late play from Feu. There he is. Go over, just maintaining control of the football to score a very good try for the Junior Kiwi side.
That one would go down as being a bit of a line ball, the final pass, but O'Sullivan was on the spot, the referee. And now it's Justin Paul to try and add the extras. They're making it nice and simple for Justin Paul, apart from one conversion attempt out on the sideline. The others have been pretty handy. The small but enthusiastic crowd at Carlaw Park would no doubt be enjoying the scoreline at the moment. There's the extra 2.
Well, they've had a long, proud record, the Australian side. This will be a test of their resilience if they can come back against the Junior Kiwi side full of enthusiasm at Carlaw Park tonight, Greg.
10 points the difference.
Justin Paul, the young Upper Hutt fullback in his first year in rugby league. What a fine season he's having.
Moana running it out from his own in goal, beats one. Umaga. Well, they're oozing with confidence at the moment, these young New Zealanders. Wiki, good fend from the centre.
Yeah, strong player, Ruben Wiki, and a very good centre combination, Tana Umanga and Ruben Wiki.
Balen back inside to Po Ching. William Po Ching, great step from the captain of the second row. After Matahira, they've run out of support, but they're running hot at Carlaw. Namu, Gene Namu, he kicks it straight into the hands of the Joey over there.
Yes, well, that was not the right decision by the Manly 5'8", Gene Namu, to kick on that occasion. It was only the third tackle. He had two players unmarked on the outside. This will allow the Australians the opportunity to run from dummy half, take the ball up, one pass from the dummy half area, and just improve their field position with a good kick. We see on the One World of Sport replay, Brady Malin, great ball to William Po Ching, terrific footwork from the second row. Look for a great pass there.
Now it's a penalty. No, it's going to be a scrum. There was a little knock-on in the play the ball there, and the Aussies didn't like the call, but it's going to be a New Zealand feed into the scrum and another opportunity.
Come on, get in here.
Now in back play, there's a New Zealander being assisted from the field. It's William Po Ching, the skipper. As Matahira runs away from the scrum, takes play to about 20 metres. Po Ching doesn't want to go off the field. He wants to hopefully share in the glory of a New Zealand team beating the Australian juniors for the first time in a test. Fu, the gunner, and it goes to Lima. That is another try to New Zealand. Peter Lima from the Otahu Club in Auckland. 2 tries in a matter of minutes in the second half.
It's a sign of a very good side if you can score points from a turnover in the opposition quarter. And that was a tremendous example from the junior Kiwi side. The Australian player lost the ball in the tackle, which meant that the New Zealand juniors got the feet at the scrum, and from the second play the ball, we see a good long pass out to Martin Moana, the loose forward, who picks up Peter Lima to go over in the tackle of his opposite, Stephen Menzies. Very good team try again from the junior Kiwi side. They've showed a lot of commitment and a lot of organisation, especially when they move the ball wide. Moana, long ball out to Peter Lima. Excellent try from the winger to put the junior Kiwis ahead 22 points to 8 with the kick to come.
Well, Lima scored a couple of tries for New Zealand in the first test at Rotorua last Saturday. What a great finisher. Big future in the game, no doubt.
Yes, Greg, not only has he got the ability to score tries out wide with good pace and good leg speed, he's also a very industrious worker from around the dummy half area early in the tackle count in their own quarter. That's the mark of a very good player.
Well, this time it's a difficult conversion for the Kiwi fullback Justin Paul. He's right out on the touchline. Hasn't got the distance or the direction. No goal. So at Carlaw Park in the second test, it's New Zealand leading Australia by 22 points to 8. The Kiwis have scored 4 tries to 1 against the Joeys. Vergara to his own quarter line. Balaam. 3 Aussie defenders in there.
The New Zealand junior Kiwis can take great heart having a player like Brady Malin in the crucial role of hooker and dummy half. Experienced player, played senior football for Auckland and has been a major organiser around the ruck area for the junior Kiwis.
Po Ching, forward pass that time. Venahira in front of Po Ching for the pass. Crowd doesn't like it. But the referee was on the spot again. A good call from O'Sullivan. That's the halfway line where the scrum will pack down. Well, Des O'Sullivan has been warning Mark Bum, the Australian halfback, to feed the ball immediately all night. He's had enough. Mark Bum, who is actually from Papua New Guinea. He studies in Australia. Now there's a hold-up to play here because one of the New Zealanders is down. An incident in back play. Touch judge is in. Now O'Sullivan is issuing a warning to Anthony Fowler, who's this prop forward and the vice-captain for Australia. The referee says that the knock on the junior Kiwi wasn't deliberate from Fowler, so the penalty remains. The junior Kiwis charge on. 25 metres out. Manahira.
They would have been better off, the junior Kiwis, having a front row running there rather than on the second tackle giving it to a halfback.
"18 metres out. Namu. Umaga. It's gone to ground. A knock on in there right on the quarter line. Temperature's starting to rise a little bit out there with the Australians down 22-8.
Very good refereeing from Des O'Sullivan. That ball went forward from the pass from Tana Umaga to Justin Paul. The referee waited to see if the Australian player had position and didn't. Now they hit the feet at the scrum.
Mark Baum puts it in. Dominic takes it out. Well, the Kiwis who've knocked it on, so the Australians get away with another feed to the scrum. Plenty of concern on the faces of the Australian bench, although the men in the middle and the front row, Bob Cochran, the manager, managed a little bit of a smile. Replacement coming on for the Joeys. 12, John Driscoll goes off. And number 17 is on, Cameron Lewis from Bingara in New South Wales. With the surname of Lewis, it's little wonder they call him Wally. Bomb. We haven't seen much of the Penrith Panther Nathan Barnes, who scored a try and kicked the winning goal in the first test in Rotorua, number 4 for the Aussies. He's been shut out. In fact, we haven't seen much of the Australian backline at all.
No, well, traditionally Australian sides play very conservatively near their own quarter, Greg, and they don't tend to use their backs until they get right down to the other end of the football field. And of course, we haven't seen them down at that end very much so far in this match.
Dominic trying to get a bit of spirit going in this Australian team. Since 1972, they've played test matches at international junior level against France, Great Britain, and New Zealand. They haven't lost a test. Now there is a head high in there.
See the tackle coming in from the Australian front rower. Ruled high by the referee.
Another good call. And number 16, Michael France, cops a penalty. Some magic water on the field for the junior Kiwis. Can they hold on? That kick for touch went off the side of the boot of William Po Ching, but he still managed to find touch. The junior Kiwi bench. Frank Endicott, the Canterbury representative, coach in control of the junior Kiwis for the first time this year, and he's done a great job. Malum. Very good hooker. Although there is some word around that he might be outgrowing the hooker's role, Ken, and he might end up being a prop, quite a big player for a number 9.
Yes, he's the tallest of the junior Kiwi front row. A lot of experience, though, for just a young 19-year-old in the junior Kiwis.
The last tackle coming up is Tui Loma plays it. Namu. Looking for touch and finds it on the quarter line, giving the New Zealanders a bit of breathing space. The scrum will back down inside the Australian territory. New Zealand forwards taking quite a bit of time to get to that scrum. They've played their hearts out here at Carlaw Park tonight. They can still manage a big shove, but it's an Australian ball. 22-8 after 14 minutes in the second half. There's still plenty of time for the Aussies to fight back, and you can't write them off. They're a class side, but at the moment they're being shut out of it by a determined New Zealand team. Peter Driscoll, tackled by Poaching underneath, and over the top his second row partner for Ghana. Domic, couple of metres from halfway. Final tackle coming up. Casey. Paul is back there.
Yeah, good positioning and good skills by the young fullback Justin Paul.
Out to Peter Lima. Not held, but now the tackle comes in from Cameron Lewis. Ruben Wiki. Peter Lima's Utahu teammate in Auckland.
Very strong player too, Ruben Wiki. Very useful man to have when the forwards are tired. Here's the other centre, Tana Rumanga. They are a great combination, taking a lot of heat off their forward pack, doing a lot of good yardage play around the ruck area. Good stuff from the junior Kiwis.
Poaching's out wide. William Poaching. He's got a player on either side. He gives it to Gene Namu. That is a try for New Zealand. Will it be enough to clinch the test match? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But brilliant running from the vice captain out wide. And of course he was set up by his captain. William Poaching, 26-8.
Yes, well, it's a fabulous example of the good heart that New Zealand Rugby League is in when we can produce these sorts of calibers of players at this level. For New Zealand Rugby League coaching director Bob Hall, who's done a marvellous job through junior development elite players. We see here on the One World of Sport replay, good passing, good handling, great footwork from William Poaching. The captain offloads a great ball to Gene Namu in support. The Manly Sea Eagle 5'8" does it easy to go over and put the junior Kiwis even further ahead. We see here on the One World of Sport replay, great hands, good dummy from Poaching. Watch for the good footwork. He goes in and then goes in off his left foot, draws a fullback, gets rid of him. Great ball to Gene Namu. Too much leg speed. That's a fabulous try.
Poaching power, indeed. And 5 tries to 1. New Zealand in control at the moment. Justin Paul. Gary Campbell, the former Kiwi fullback in the blue. Next to him is Frank Endicott talking to Bob Hall, the New Zealand coaching director. In the top row, the man with the red hat in the top is the chairman of the Canterbury Rugby League, Bevan Olsen, who's the manager of this New Zealand team. Justin Paul.
Yes, and certainly the Canterbury combination has been sensational. Frank Endicott, Bevan Olsen, the manager of the side, have done a marvellous job for rugby league over the years.
That's a good kick from Justin Paul. The crowd is happy.
Yeah, it's all coming right on the night for the junior Kiwis. Marvellous example.
It's a 20-point buffer for New Zealand over Australia. Ball bouncing off the upright. Vagana to play it 5 metres out from his own line.
Sensible play there from Brady Malin, thinking the ball may have come forward off a junior Kiwi teammate. Having the peace of mind, Greg, just to let that bounce, let it go just in case. That's great concentration by the hooker.
Quick hands, Paul. No, it's not, it's Wiki. And a good ball back inside to the support. Barry Fu, the front row, did well to be up there in support. Now it's Matahira, Namu. Poaching, Namu out wide. Oh, it was a good ball to Umaga, but he couldn't control it. Well, it was a good idea. Probably a difficult pass to hold on to. But they were looking dangerous again out wide. Jonathan Umaga. Again, before the match, junior Kiwi coach Frank Endicott told me he fancied his side's chances down the flanks And he wanted to take them on in the back line, and it's worked out so far.
Yes, and all credit to Frank Endicott. He's a marvellous coach, very, very successful on the local scene.
Junior Kiwi forward pack refusing to pack down on the mark, so a penalty for Australia. Garen Casey finding touch. There's number 15 for Australia on as a replacement, Nick Graham from the Cronulla Sutherland Club in Sydney. Cronulla Shark Junior. Now a chance for the Joeys. If they're going to get back into this match, it really has to be now. They've got a good opportunity. Domick is about 10 metres out from the New Zealand try line now. Sears and Mom, the double round with Sears, but Menahira read that well. The Kiwi halfback was quick to shut it down. No marker, play on. Sears, 10 metres out. Namu is there underneath, and over the top is Moana. Mom, Casey, Domick is out wide. Ducks under one. Nathan Barnes gets it out to his winger, Chabal, but he couldn't hold on to it. So New Zealand come away with it. 20 minutes gone in the second half. It's a 20-point ball game at the moment. Yes, the Junior Kiwis 28-8.
Yes, great scrambling effort too, Greg, by the Kiwi side. They were under a lot of pressure here, but managed to get out of it quite easily. Here they are, points up on the board. No restrictions on them, very keen to use the football.
They like their chances out wide, don't they? Peter Lima, after some good lead-up work by Ruben Wiki, the centre. Moana, Menahira, good ball to Vagana. Joe Vagana, 25 metres out from the line. Menahira. The Junior Kiwis are running the Joeys off their feet tonight. On the quarter line, William Poching will play it. We're just settling down. Menahira, there's the chip over the top. Mom is back there. He's put it down. Menahira, and it goes to his winger, Tui Loma. That is another try for New Zealand. They put the pressure on to the Joeys. The Joeys coughed it up. 32 points to 8.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since we've seen the New Zealand side perform to this level. We see her on the last tackle. Tane Menahira, who's played very strongly for the Junior Kiwi side, puts the ball up, goes forward off Mom, the Aboriginal halfback for the Australian side. Menahira tidies up the bomb, gives out a great ball to Ngapa Tuiluma to score over in the corner and put the Junior Kiwi side even further ahead. We see again on the One World of Sport replay, the ball going up by Menahira, comes forward off his opposite. He tidies up himself, manages to get it, squeeze the ball out in the tackle to Ngapa Tuiluma to score a terrific try for the Junior Kiwis in the corner.
Well, they'll be feeling pretty pleased with themselves. There's a smile on the face of coach Frank Endicott. Gary Kemble rubbing his hands together, thinking there'll be some celebrations tonight, and I think all of New Zealand can celebrate this victory if the Junior Kiwis can hold on. It's taken a long time, 20 years in fact, to win a junior test against the Australian under-18s. Justin Paul. It's away in front of the post, so the score remains New Zealand leading Australia by 32 points to 8. Justin Paul doing plenty of talking. And the restart from Casey again. There's a replacement on for the Junior Kiwis. Aaron Lester from the Southern United Club in Auckland.
Well, it really has been a clash of two styles tonight, Greg. The New Zealand side have showed plenty of enthusiasm when it comes to moving the football and going wide. The Australian team, by comparison, have been very typical of the sides that we've seen from over there, conservative in their own quarter, with a good kicking game at the end of their sets of 6. Tonight, so far, regardless of what the final score is, it's certainly a victory for adventurous football.
And they're still moving it around. Manahira, Lester the replacement. Up to the quarter line. There were numbers out wide. Lester opted to hold on for a step or two. And now the Australians come away with it. But they're defending grimly now, the Joeys. Nothing going right for them. They've been pounded into the Carlaw Park turf tonight and run ragged. The junior Kiwis still have another 3 replacements to make. Ken, would you be thinking about bringing them on shortly? Surely some of these players deserve a breather.
Yes, certainly, but I think Frank Endicott will be making sure that the game is beyond doubt, and we're getting very close to that mark now with time running out on the clock. Still, I think he would want to reward the starting lineup that have performed so well tonight.
15 minutes to go in the second test match. Australia won the first by 26-24. It's the second and final test. And it could be history in the making on One World of Sport.
Yes, well, I think we can be assured of that. Greg, at 32 points to 8, the New Zealand juniors are not going to lose the match from this point in the game.
Is still running strongly.
Oh, this kid Fatialofa, he's been outstanding tonight. I'm sure Coach Howie Tamani, who's a big fan of work done by front rows, would have noted with interest the performance of this young kid.
And I'm sure his famous uncle, Peter Fatialofa, the captain of the Western Samoan Rugby Union team, and of course the Auckland prop, will be pretty proud with that, proud of his nephew as well. 1 tackle to go in the set of 6. Namu just got the kick in. Barnes has it, only 5 metres out from his own line. Number 14 is on for New Zealand. That's Shannon Lee. There's a knock on. Pressure on the Australians again. They're trying to play catch-up football. It's not working out for them tonight.
Yeah, again, superb defensive work by the New Zealand junior side. Lots of aggression, lots of intensity moving up there, forcing the Australian side into error.
Depressing sight, that Australian bench. Been a long time since they've been trailing 32 points to 8 in a test match. Great opportunity for the junior Kiwis. They have the feed into the scrum. Manahira puts it in, takes it out. Shannon Lee, Nama, who's moved to the centres. The double round. Paul is up into the line. Justin Paul, long ball out to Peter Lima. It's forward. No try. No try for Peter Lima. And a good call from Des O'Sullivan.
Yeah, good call from the referee. Des O'Sullivan. Was a line ball decision and a tough one to make, but he made it here. But you have a look on the One World of Sport replay. Great long pass. That ball there is ruled forward, but the Australian defence was well beaten anyway.
$32 points to 8. This scrum 10 metres out from the Australian line. And it's a penalty again to the Australians. The New Zealand forward pack refusing to pack down on the mark. Bit of back chat in there from Joseph Pagana as well. That's the quarter line. Good kick from Casey to find touch inside New Zealand territory. Peter Driscoll. Oh, good tackle underneath from Pagana. Mail him over the top. Mears. Mom. Sears pops one over to Robbie Ross. It goes back. Barnes has to clean up. Tabau, the winger, has to see much of the play tonight. Michael France. 1 tackle to go in this set of 6. The Joeys can't make too much of an impression at all. Sears. Straight into the arms of Justin Paul. The fullback up over the quarter line.
Yeah, very good effort from the young fullback who's played strongly tonight. Again, we've seen another example of the Australian side not able to get possession of the football and field position inside the New Zealand Juniors 22, which has been a feature tonight, along with the Junior Kiwis. Very, very aggressive defence.
Moana. A couple of metres from halfway for Ghana. One tackle to go. Shannon Lee. Reasonable footwork from Stephen Menzies, the Australian winger.
Yeah, one of the rare occasions that he's had possession of the football. The wingers in the Australian side tonight, mainly their role has been confined to just running from dummy half on the second tackle.
Well, they tried to move it, but good defence from the Junior Kiwis, shut them down out wide again. Ruben Wiki was quick to get in there.
He's played very strongly, that fella there, David Fatialofa, a very impressive front rower.
That's the halfway line. One tackle to go in the set of 6. Mom will try the luck out wide. Casey, Barnes, Robbie Ross up into the line. Back to Casey. There's the grubber kick. Back to one. Chance now for the Joeys, but they've thrown it away. William Poching is over there to clean up for the Junior Kiwis.
Yes, and that player there, William Poching, he's done a fantastic job leading the Junior Kiwis tonight. Both his individual performance on attack on defence, plus his leadership qualities. He really has led from the front. Plenty of enthusiasm when it comes to taking the ball up, William Poching, and marvellous footwork. Very evasive player.
Aaron Lester. Fatialofa from the Maris Club in Auckland. Poching! William Poching spots an opening. 11 metres out. Back it goes to Shannon Lee. He's going to have a shot at a drop goal, but no, it's away to the left. The idea was right, though. So the score remains 32 points to 8. The Junior Kiwis over the Australian juniors. Reminder that on Saturday, October 10, we'll have a big night for league fans as we have another look at the left-footed attempt at the drop goal, just away to the left. Yes, on October 10, it's a big night for league fans at the Centra Hotel in Auckland. That's when we'll name the Lion Red New Zealand Player of the Year. The 5 finalists have been named. They are Gary Freeman, Gavin Hill, Sean Hoppy, Quentin Pongia and Brent Todd. The 5 finalists for the New Zealand Player of the Year in alphabetical order. As the Australians throw it around. Inside it goes to Sears. Sears out to Mom. They made it pretty easy for him in the end. Tui Loma and Davu made a mess of the cover defence, and Mom scores the try for the Australians.
Well, any points that the Australians get from this point on are really only going to be consolation points as they try and play out time and get out of the match with a little bit of dignity and a little bit of pride. So the Australian side's now just completing sets of 6, trying to be inventive and creative throughout the match as time runs out on the clock. We see great quick hands from the Australian side, making good use of the football as they attack down the flanks. Great inside ball to the winger. Menzies coming back on the inside. Good footwork too by the Australians. Great inside ball there from Mom, the Papua New Guinea student, doing study at the in New South Wales to score the try. A rare moment of victory for the Australian side. Mark Mom, fullback, and we see from the end on camera, great hands from the Australian side. They move the football, look for the inside ball there to Menzies. Sears backs up on the inside. Number 6, great footwork there to get away from Shannon Lee. And Martin Mom, a bit of a mix-up between Gene Namu and Tui Loma, which allows Mom to go in close to the post.
They add the extras. Casey made no mistake with that one. Mom, the try scorer. The Junior Kiwis still with a handy lead, 32-14, 8 minutes to go. So now it's the Junior Kiwis who must regain their concentration. Frank Endicott and Gary Kemble, his fellow junior Kiwi selector.
And what a great job they've done, Frank Endicott. Bob Hall as well, sitting behind him, New Zealand National Director of Coaching and responsible for so much of the junior development, talent enrichment and identification of many of these young players. Howie Tamani, the senior Kiwi coach, will be delighted with the form of these players this evening, and it does show also with the Auckland Warriors to enter the Winfield Cup in 1995 that some of the talent on display augurs well for that year.
Nabu with the restart. Driscoll. Crowd getting right behind the junior Kiwis, and there's a little knock on in there as well.
Again, that's fabulous. Yes, Greg, again, that's fabulous effort in defence from the junior Kiwi side. Lots of aggression and lots of intensity tonight. It really has been a hallmark of their performance in the second half last week in the first test in Rotorua. And here you will never see a better example there. Ruben Wiki, good solid hit there to force the front row from Australia to lose the ball. Great play.
Shannon lead the double round with Namu. Out it goes to Paul. He has to cut back inside. Namu put it down, and the Australians come away with it now. Robbie Ross. Ken, it's great to see that the New Zealand Sports Foundation is supporting Junior Rugby League. They're the major sponsor of the Junior Kiwis for this 2-test series.
Yes, and it's been a tough time of late for the New Zealand Sports Foundation, Greg, and this will give them something to cheer about. It has been a fabulous display of attack, defence, enthusiasm from these young players that really represent the champions of tomorrow for New Zealand Rugby League.
I'm full of praise for this New Zealand team and the management. Bevan Olsen, the manager, said that spending time with this junior Kiwi time certainly helped him restore a little bit of lost faith in humans. He's had a great time with them. Truly professional, even though they're only 19 and under.
Yes, and what has been a feature of the side too, Greg, is the large number of experienced players that they've got in the team. Gene Namba with the Manly Sea Eagles, Brady Malum, who's played senior football for the Auckland representative side, Tana Rumanga, who played strongly for the Wellington representative team this year, William Poching with the Mount Albert side, and he played well for Auckland against Canberra here earlier this year. A lot of experience in the side. Martin Moana, Waikato representative too, played very, very strongly in Rotorua last week and has been very aggressive in defence tonight.
Well, the junior Kiwis now just starting to force a few passes, but I guess they're enjoying themselves out there, and they're going to try and put a few more nails in the Australian coffin.
Greg, there's a big cheer going up for David Fatialofa, who's just been replaced by Tony Tongia. He's had a very strong game for the Kiwis. He really laid the foundation for them to score a lot of points out wide tonight. David Fatialofa, fantastic effort from the front rower.
Ross, the fullback for Australia. Mom looking for the runners. This is Michael France. Mentioned the 5 finalists for the Lion Red New Zealand Player of the Year to be announced in Auckland at the Centra Hotel on October 10. Remember that also on that night we'll name the New Zealand League Personality of the Year, judged by you. You can pop into any Canterbury of New Zealand specialty store before September 26th to cast your vote for the New Zealand League Personality of the Year. And that personality can either be a player, coach, official or supporter. So get in before September 26th to cast your vote. Plenty of personalities in the game around New Zealand, Ken. That's a tough one, as we see Justin Paul clean up on his own quarter line.
Yes, there have been a number of highlights in the New Zealand Rugby League season so far in 1992, and certainly Frank Endicott's coaching effort of the 1992 Junior Kiwis will go down in history as a feature of this season.
In Rotorua in the first test, they were down by 20 points to 0, but they fought back to take the lead, 24-20. Then the Australians had to come back and score a converted try to snatch victory, but it's been one-way traffic tonight, really. $32 points to 14, with just a couple of minutes remaining on the clock.
Greg, you mentioned earlier that Brisbane Broncos scholarships have been given to William Poching and Tana Rumanga for the early part of the 1993 season. I'll be very surprised to see them come back. A lot of players out there with great talent. We see another unforced error by the Australian side. Really has been a nightmare performance from them.
New Zealand feed into the scrum. This could be possibly the last scrum of the match. Another replacement on for New Zealand. Number 16, Alex Chan.
Greg, you and I have seen the Auckland, Wellington, Canterbury and Bay of Plenty sides playing the provincial championships this year. This side is right up there amongst them as well.
And they're going to score in the last minute of play, just to put the final nail in the coffin. And that was the replacement player. Looked to be Chan. 36-14. Well, sensational scenes at Carlo Park.
There's no better way to finish fabulous and successful test series. We see Joe Vangana taking the ball up, offloads the ball in the tackle to the replacement player who's just come on, Alex Chan from the Bay of Plenty Union, playing for the Taupo Club. He'll be very, very pleased with that fine effort at the end of the 2-test series against the Australian schoolboys, won very handsomely by the junior Kiwis. We see on the One World of Sport replay, Alex Chan, the try scorer at the end of the match, and he's got plenty to celebrate.
Delightful scenes as the junior Kiwis give the high fives. They've scored 7 tries to 2. History for New Zealand Rugby League. The first win over Australia. Look at Gary Kimball and Frank Endicott, the selector and the selector coach. They're delighted with what has gone on tonight, and why not? New Zealand has never beaten Australia in a junior test match. Paul tries to add another 2, but it's waved away. So there's time for a restart. No, that is full time. The siren sounds. 36 points to 14. Congratulations, New Zealand. 7 tries to 2. No doubt about the best team at Carlo Park tonight. The stars of New Zealand Rugby League in fine form. Remember the names. I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot of them over the years. Congratulations to Frank Endicott, Bevan Olsen, and the rest of the management. A big win to New Zealand, 36-14. All the Australians can do. You wonder what might have been. For the New Zealanders, there'll be plenty of celebrating. Good sportsmanship at the end. It was played in pretty good spirit, very hectic indeed, and Ken, there'll be some tired boys tonight.
Yes, it was magnificent effort from the junior Kiwis, especially the big blokes. Showed a lot of enthusiasm to carry on for a full 80 minutes.
Yes! Yes!
So 7 tries to 2. That's a comprehensive win for the junior Kiwis over the Australian Joeys. 36 points to 14 at Carlo Park. They did a haka at the start of the game. Now one for the fans at the end.
Yeah.